Welcome back. I am your host, Gabriella. Today we are talking about why most small businesses struggle with meta ads, and I mean really struggle. I'm talking about burning through budgets, getting frustrated, and then blaming the algorithm or saying Facebook ads don't work anymore. Ads aren't broken. Your system probably is. I audit meta ad accounts and I see the same patterns over and over. The mistakes aren't usually about the platform, they are about strategy, messaging, tracking, and process. Today, I'm breaking down the five categories of mistakes I see most often, and I'm going to share a real story about a recent audit that perfectly illustrates why creative is absolutely critical in 2026. Let's dive in. First category, strategy and funnel mistakes. This is where most businesses lose before they even start. Mistake number one, they have no clear goal. I'll see accounts running campaigns without defining whether they want leads, sales, or awareness. And when I ask, what's the goal? They say, well, we want all of it. That's not a strategy, that's a wish list. If you don't define the goal, you can't optimize for it. Mistake number two, random ad campaigns. This is what I call spray and pray. Testing random creative without understanding the audience's intent. Just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks. No hypothesis, no structure. It's kind of just chaos. Mistake number three, ignoring the funnel. Ads send cold traffic straight to a sales page with no nurture, no retargeting, no email sequence. You're asking people who have never heard of you to buy immediately. That works for some products, but for most service businesses, it won't work. So you need a funnel. Mistake number four, skipping audience research. This one is interesting because the landscape has shifted. With Meta's Advantage Plus campaigns and broader targeting capabilities, what people are calling the Andromeda update, the platform is really pushing towards broader audiences and letting AI do more of the work. But here's the nuance. Whether it's broad targeting that works for you, it is completely dependent on your niche and industry. So if you have a mature pixel with solid conversion data and your creative is strong, broad targeting can absolutely work. The algorithm will find your people. But if you have a very specific niche, let's say you're a B2B business selling to manufacture plant managers, you just can't go broad and hope Meta finds and figures out who your audience is. I mean, you can, but you need some level of targeting precision. So the mistake isn't broad versus detailed, it's going in either direction without validation. You need to understand your audience first, test what works for your specific business, and then let the data guide your targeting strategy. Don't just copy what someone said works in a Facebook group. Test it for your industry. I guess the bottom line is if your strategy is unclear, your ads will be too. You need to know who you're targeting, what you're offering, and what you want them to do next. Category number two is creative and messaging mistakes. This is huge now. Creative is your biggest cost lever in 2026. Not targeting, not budget, it is the creative. Mistake number one is weak hooks. Your ad has to grab the attention in the first 3 seconds or it's invisible. If your hook doesn't stop the scroll, you'll pay more for every impression. I see ads that start with a generic statement like looking to grow your business. Mistake number two is generic visuals. Boring graphics, templated designs. If your creative looks like everyone else's, it's getting ignored. The algorithm rewards engagement. If people scroll past your ad, you pay more. Mistake number three, mismatched offer versus audience. Your ad promises something that doesn't resonate with your audience's actual pain points. You're talking about a feature when they care about outcomes, or you're solving a problem they don't even know they have. Mistake number four, overcomplicated copy. Too much text, confusing call to action, unclear next step. People are scrolling fast. If I have to work to understand your ad, they won't. If they have to work to understand your ad, they won't. Let me tell you about a recent audit that illustrates this perfectly. I worked with a business owner who had a great offer, solid positioning, clear value, good pricing. On paper, everything looked good, but her ads were just not converting. When I looked at her account, the problem was immediately obvious to me. Her creative was the issue. She was using generic headlines and visuals that didn't seem to catch the eye. The copy was generic, not clear. The creative didn't stop anyone. That's why she wasted so much of her ad spend. We talk about the shift that happened in meta ads. It is not 2019 anymore. You can't just run one static image for 3 months and expect results. The platform has evolved. Creative freshness matters, authenticity matters, trends matter. I told her, you need to test new formats. User generated content style, video, carousels, testimonials, different hooks every week, and you need to stay current. Pay attention to what's working in the feed right now. This is especially true with updates like Advantage Plus and Meta's push towards AI driven optimization. The algorithm is getting smarter, but it still needs your strong creative to work with. If you feed it boring ads, it'll deliver boring results. She updated her creative approach, authentic visuals, stronger hooks, weekly testing, and within a month, her cost per lead dropped by almost 50%. Same offer, same audience, different creative. Creative is not optional anymore. It is everything. Category 3, tracking and data mistakes. This one kills campaigns silently. You think your ads are running fine, but you're optimizing for the wrong thing. Mistake number 1, maybe the pixel is not set up correctly. The conversion events aren't tracking correctly. Maybe the pixel fired on the wrong page, or the event isn't matching what you told the algorithm to optimize for. If your data is broken, your optimization is broken. Mistake number 2, blind optimization. Making decisions based on clicks, likes, or impressions instead of meaningful KPIs, key performance indicators. I see people pause campaigns because the CPM, which is cost per thousands of impressions, went up, but they're still getting leads at a profitable cost. Or they keep running ads because they're getting lots of clicks but zero conversions. Mistake number 3, no proper attribution. Not accounting for how different touchpoints contribute to conversions. Let's say someone sees your ad, doesn't click. Later they search your brand and convert. Your ad gets zero credit, but it was part of the journey. If you're only looking at the last click attribution, you're missing the full picture. Here's the fix. Set up your pixel correctly and conversions API if possible. Track the events that matter, leads, purchases, qualified calls, not just traffic. And look at the full funnel, not just one metric. Data tells you what to fix, but only if you're tracking the right things. Category 4, budget and bid management mistakes. This is where impatience gets expensive. Mistake 1, too many ad sets too early. Someone has $1,000 budget and launches 10 ad sets. I've seen this happen. Each one gets $100. None of them get enough delivery to learn. The algorithm needs data. If you spread your budget too thin, you starve every campaign. Mistake 2, turning off learning too early. The algorithm needs time to optimize. Usually it's 50 conversions per ad set per week. But people check their ads after 12 hours, see a high cost per lead, and panic. They pause everything, now the algorithm has to start over. That impatience is costing you. Mistake number 3, chasing the lowest cost instead of profitable cost. Focusing on cheap clicks instead of profitable conversions. I see people celebrate a $2 cost per click, but the leads don't convert. Meanwhile, someone is paying $8 per click, but closing deals. Cost per click doesn't matter. Cost per customer does. The fix? Consolidating your budget. Let the algorithm learn. Focus on profitable outcomes, not vanity metrics. Give your campaigns time to stabilize before you make the changes. Category 5, scaling mistakes. You finally get a winning campaign. Now what? Most people break it trying to scale. Mistake number 1 is scaling without testing. You double your budget overnight on one ad that worked. No testing variations, no gradual increases, just aggressive scaling, and performance tanks because you reset the learning phase. Mistake 2, ignoring audience fatigue. Running the same creative for months until performance drops. Your audience sees your ad 20 times. They're scrolling past it now. You need to rotate your creatives constantly in order to keep performance stable. Mistake number 3, copy-paste approach. Using the same campaign structure for every single client or product without tailoring the strategy. What works for one business does not necessarily work for another. You have to be willing to adapt. Scaling is strategic, budget increases, creative rotation, and constant testing. It's not emotional, it is methodical. All right, here's the big picture takeaway. So ads amplify systems, they don't fix broken foundations. Most of the systems I've covered aren't really about the ads themselves, they're about strategy, messaging, tracking, and process. If your offer is unclear, ads won't fix that. If your landing page is broken, ads will just send people to a broken page. If you're not tracking conversions properly, you can't optimize. If your creative is broken or boring, if your creative is boring, you'll overpay for every result. Fix the system first, then spend smartly. Meta ads absolutely work in 2026, but only if you're working with a solid foundation. Build the strategy, nail the messaging, set up your tracking, test your creative, and manage your budget intelligently. Do that, and the ads will perform. Okay, that's the breakdown of why small businesses struggle with meta ads. If you recognize yourself in any of these mistakes, do not worry. You are not alone. The good news is that they are all fixable. In the next episode, I am going to show you exactly how to fix these mistakes. We're talking strategy, creative frameworks, tracking setup, budget management, the whole system. You'll walk away with a clear action plan. If you found this helpful, subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And if you want to chat about your specific ad account, drop me a message on Instagram at Varies Digital Marketing, and I'd love to hear what you're working on. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.